Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Red-Rupee here with another quick match of Dawn of War 2 for you tonight. I was looking through my replays and realized I had yet to do a single match featuring the Tyrannid army. So I went ahead and did my usual herpaderp on game replays, found myself a quick interesting looking replay here featuring Wurgl as our Eldar Warlock against HolyHammer X as our Warlock and Lictor Alpha. We're on Judgement of Carrion. Very stretched out map here in the center. You can see the far distance between the 3 victory points and the 2 center bases right across from each other. So there tends to be a lot of fighting here in the middle, and the map tends to end in victory point countdown rather than pretty much annihilating each other's armies. There is a lot more map control focus, just trying to keep these outer points in your own grasp and keeping your power up, considering how far your 2 natural nodes are away from each other. And we're going to get started here. Wurgl getting some Banshees right off the bat. HolyHammer looks like he's going to be going for some Termagants. The Warlock and the Guardians both heading to one side of the map to do their capping, while meanwhile HolyHammer spreads out a little bit and gets his squad moving across the map. The Warlock and the Guardians, a pretty good combo together early game, I'm assuming is what Wurgl's thinking. Meanwhile, his Banshees can kind of run around on their own and take any vanilla Hormagaunts or Termagants they encounter without much issue. So I think that was the plan here with taking just one side of the map to start himself out. Meanwhile, the Lictor Alpha has captured some power and looks like he's going to go ahead and move in on the Warlock. The double Termagants are on the field, spreading out into center as the Tyrannid infect the Judgement of Carrion map here. We're going to see the first skirmish in the middle here. Warlock moving in right on all of this. And oh my goodness, that was a perfect Destructor if I've ever seen one. That was just dropped them down to minimal HP. The Guardians even managed to take off a few models at the end there. That was an excellent shot. If you're unfamiliar with how Destructor works on the Warlock, it's actually a pretty fickle ability, so being able to land a nice shot like that, I really respect that myself. Looks like Wurgl's taken pretty good control of the center map, using his Warlock sprint to get out of there. Fleet of foot, that is. HolyHammer building just one node so far. Probably, I'm assuming, gonna go for some Raveners with that amount of power. Kind of similar to when Space Marines drop just the 1 power generator when they're going for some quick assault Space Marines. You can see HolyHammer not really doing direct confrontations anywhere, keeping his units spread out. It looked like another Destructor there hit spot on that I heard. Meanwhile, as you can see, this is what I'm talking about, where each side of the map is just going back and forth as the players switch positions on Judgement of Carrion. You can see it looks like HolyHammer's starting to fill up his generator farm. Meanwhile, Wurgl's just getting his first node capped. Banshee's not getting aspect quite yet. That's normally one of the first upgrades we see with Eldar, but deciding he hasn't used it yet and instead opted to get himself another spot-on Destructor. Did you see that? That just dropped both of these Termagant squads down to about half HP with no problem. These Destructor shots so far this game have been amazing. Maybe it's not that hard to pull off. I know I never have that kind of luck with Destructor, so I'm enjoying seeing the Warlock bring the hurt quite a bit. That Lictor's in a bit of trouble. Those Banshees are going to be tearing him up. He's going to go for a retreat right here, it looks like, and it might be a bit off, but oh, the Lictor just barely survives. Took a Banshee down with that grenade instead, and the Lictor escapes with a mere 13 HP. An energy shield up here. You can see a double purpose because it'll not only support his Guardians, but if this center point gets captured, it will protect whatever squad's capping from any center fire from this green cover. Meanwhile, here come the Raveners that HolyHammer has purchased, and those will probably put a little bit of pressure on Wurgl here, considering he now only has the 2 Guardian squads and the Banshees. HolyHammer getting himself a bit stronger, a tier 1 force. A little bit of a generator harass. Those Termagants not going to do much on their own. It looks like there was a grenade over here that I missed. I heard the shout. The Raveners tunneled in, and a nice grenade on top of them. Looks like they lost no members, but pretty low. The Warlock needs to get out of there. He's not going to... Oh, an excellent special attack followed by a Banshee War Shout. Just managed to barely keep that Warlock alive. You can see the Hormagaunts are upgraded with the Adrenal Glands. He would not have gotten out of there if the Banshees had not come in and saved the day. A distortion field, letting these Banshees tank both of the Termagants. Both players decided to retreat at just the wrong moments. If either one of them hadn't retreated right there, the other would have been able to take that section of the map. But they both decided the risk was a bit too great on that and decided to fall back. Wurgl now acquiring himself a Shuriken Cannon weapon team, the suppression hopefully to try to secure these points and keep at least some of the Nid Swarm at bay. You can see all of HolyHammer's starting Gaunt and Gant squads have gotten their basic upgrades, the Toxin Sacs for the Termagants and the Adrenal Glands for the Hormagaunts. Another grenade sacrificed a Guardian to do a little bit of damage to that Lictor, and continuing the harass before falling back. You can see the Banshees coming in, and an excellent burrow strike on those Banshees. They are in a bit of trouble now being behind Raveners, and the Lictor Alpha, just the whole Nid Swarm closing in on them. They are going to go down, I think. Oh, but it looks like the Guardians took out the Ravener just as he was about to land the finishing blow on that Banshee. She escapes with her life. Her sisters, unfortunately, were not so lucky. That was an excellent shot with the burrow strike there. It's really the kind of little micro I appreciate from these higher tier games, is knowing exactly where to place the burrow strike with the Guardians and the Destructor, exactly where to place the grenades. That Shuriken Cannon is going to have to move up. I'm not sure if that was an excellent choice, the Shuriken Cannon with the Stealth Lictor and the Raveners running around here early game. It's really, I feel like that's not going to be set up too often. Again, we see that Destructor just doing excellent damage to these blobby little Nid squads. A second squad of Raveners were purchased for HolyHammer. I feel like he's really going to have to make sure he can get a generator bash to stay competitive in this game with spending so much power. You can see, as I say that, Wurgl's now choosing to tech up to tier 2 while HolyHammer's are going to be a little bit behind on that. Another drop of the distortion field. You can see these Banshees just tanking this pile of range damage. After seeing the Ravener's burrow, he decides to get the heck out of there. After being so close to losing the Banshees the first time, he's not going to risk that again. It was actually quite fortunate that those survived in the first place. Again, you can see the placement of another energy shield blocking the victory point here, and backcapping a little bit of HolyHammer's wreck, trying to keep his economy down a little bit. But you can see what's the start of the dreaded Tyranid range blob here with 2 Ravener squads and 2 Termagant broods. All that we're missing now are some Venom brood warriors to really add some range synapse and just exponentially increase the damage output of this Tyranid army. The victory points have really been going back and forth here. No player with a distinct advantage. A flesh hook on that Warlock, launching him right through his own energy shield. That was pretty fun. The Destructor with the departing shot there, trying to keep the HP on these Nid squads as low as possible. And as you can see, these 2 end victory points just constantly changing hands. This Shuriken Cannon's in a bit of trouble. Those Hormagaunts are going to be way too quick for it to get set up, and he does pull out, hopefully without losing any members.